This debate can be used as a game of ping-pong this afternoon between the two political parties that have dominated British politics since the end of the First World War. But actually something bigger is going on out there. Have a look at the turnout. The second lowest turnout ever in a general election, despite the introduction of mass postal voting. Have a think about the fact that the Labour Party got a third of the vote and 2/3 of the seats. For every Labour MP, there are 34,000 votes. For every Reform MP, 820,000 votes. When you think about that and give it some context, perhaps it's not surprising that confidence in the whole system is breaking down. Now, I have to say, having studied politics for a long time, not as long as the father of the house, obviously, but over 50 years, I can't think of a government that has seen a collapse in confidence as quickly as this one has. There are 26,000 pensioners in the constituency of Clacton alone that are losing their winter fuel allowance. They had no idea this was going to happen on the day of the general election. There are 100 family farms just in the Clacton constituency, many that I've met that frankly are in tears because they can't see how their husbandry of that land that has gone on in some cases for hundreds of years is going to be able to survive inheritance tax. And with the national insurance increases, yet another hammer blow to the men and women running small businesses in this country. They had not expected this. They were promised it wouldn't happen in the run-up to the general election. And we find that even now affects GP surgeries in the constituency and hospices close to it. So perhaps you can see why people are upset. They feel that things are being done to them they didn't have realistic expectations of. But the broader problem, I think, is the economy as a whole. The economy works on confidence. People borrow money, lend money according to confidence in each other. And in the Prime Minister and the Chancellor of the Exchequer, I mean, we've got two people who look like they're going to a family funeral every day. There is an air of miserablism. Even a speech from the Prime Minister, the complete opposite to Tony Blair. This isn't things can only get better, it's things can only get worse. We are in much deeper difficulty economically. Even to talk about a £22 billion black hole is not to understand the problems that we've got. We have zero growth in this country. Foreign investment into Britain. Yes, there's money coming in, but it's not coming in anywhere near the rate that we need. We have got major, major problems. And I actually believe that this government has talked us into a recession because confidence is falling to that degree. And you might note that the more rapidly legal migration rises, the more rapidly the population expands, the poorer we get as individuals. The last 2 years have seen record levels of net migration into Britain. And in 6 of the last 8 quarters, GDP per capita has fallen. And this perhaps is the issue ultimately that I think is why people voted, or 3 million of them, asked for another general election. It is the breach of trust between Westminster and the country on immigration. I'm not even discussing the boats. I'm talking about a population that has risen by over 10 million in the last 20 years. The impact of that on the primary school availability, the impact of that on housing, the impact of that on people's wages. That is the ultimate breach of trust. Now, Labour have not promised anything on legal immigration at all, but they need to be aware that if net migration figures are anywhere near what they've been in the last few years, confidence in their party will fall further. I think the whole system is in need of absolute fundamental change, and I suspect that what this is just a symptom, frankly, is a symptom of a much bigger cry for a different kind of politics in the United Kingdom. You can all con yourselves as much as you like. The old two-party system is breaking up before our eyes, and the next general election is going to see a very, very different parliament. Thank you.
Farage doesn't just predict change. He warns of a political upheaval, a parliament reshaped by voter fury, disillusionment and the collapse of traditional loyalties. But is this just classic Farage showmanship, or is he tapping into something real? With Labour wobbling, the Tories in chaos and smaller parties gaining traction, the next general election might be unlike anything we've seen in decades. So what do you think? Will Parliament truly look very, very different after the vote? Or will the status quo cling on just a little longer? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to Britain Briefed for more straight-talking political coverage from Westminster and beyond. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.